So when it comes to our identity, we maybe have the picture of who we can be, and then this cataclysmic event of motherhood happens. In some ways, we can fear what that means for who we are. But I think like any major event in our lives, any major change in our lives, God will use to make us be more of who he meant for us to be, not less. So you may think, well, I don't know how to retain all of this of who I am, and I'm in this mode where all I do is empty the dishwasher and just meet physical needs. That's not who I am, or I don't feel I'm super domestic, or I don't know how to do this. And I think there's a couple things that happen in that time. First of all, the idea that you lose your identity when you're a mother is a myth. It's not true. If you may let go of some things that you need to let go of anyway, but an identity, the truth of who you really are, is being grown and cultivated through that time. Now, I think being a young mother, when you're a mother of young children, it's very much a underground work time. I think that there's some foundational things that God can do in women that's really beautiful and wonderful at that time. I call it underground because I don't know that many women who feel like it's the pinnacle of their life when they have young children. Now, they may have thought that, and that's actually usually the worst, is women who all they wanted was that season, and then they get there and they have parts of it that they didn't anticipate that are much more difficult than they expected, that don't go the way they wanted. Then there's a whole nother group of women who are like, I don't even know, I'm sort of ambivalent towards that. I don't know, I feel like I'm gonna lose myself. That's a realistic viewpoint. There's parts of that are true or hard, but there's also some really beautiful parts of raising young children. So regardless of how you enter into that season, it is an opportunity for, I think, God to do some, let's just call it like underground work in who you are. The way that you process your own weaknesses. Every woman I know within 1 year of raising a child is like, I have found my limit. I know what it means now to reach the end of my rope. Whether it's the physical demands, the sleeplessness, the hormones, the navigating changes in your marriage, or if you're a single mom, finding a way to make life work with feeling personally responsible for one little thing, living thing, whatever that is, every woman I know comes to that place. But the great thing is that that's a place where Jesus will meet you. Now, you may think that you knew him, know him, needed him, but it's an opportunity to know him and need him in a new way. And so there's some foundational things there that God will do in you. He shapes your character. He helps you know more of who you really are. He teaches you about humility. He teaches you about servanthood. All these aspects of what and who Jesus was when he walked on earth that he repeatedly says about himself. God gives you an opportunity as a mother of young children to truly live that out. Now, if you have pride about that, if you are angry about it, if you feel frustrated by that, if you find that you're resentful, well, like, welcome to the human condition. I felt exactly the same way. Those are good things to find out about yourself. You may not like them right now, and you may think it's really ugly. I have a friend of mine who recently hit that end of the rope time, and she said, I am really ugly. I did not know. And I thought to myself, you're a beautiful person who God is changing and shaping, but guess what? That ugliness, that's been in there this whole time. It's not new. It's like a deep place that's now been brought to the surface that is an opportunity for forgiveness, for grace. Compassion is developed when you recognize your own weakness. You stop judging other people because you realize you're not that great either. So lots of things can come from that. But to really address the question, where is my identity in that? I would say hang on. Ask that question of God, who am I? What am I learning about some of the strengths of myself that I didn't recognize before? I didn't think of myself as a particularly nurturing person before I had children. I love that God brought that forth through that time that I look back on and think was pretty hard. I'm so thankful for it now. And I think most women, if they'll embrace that change, they'll be saying those same things as when their kids get older.